a club like this in my hand, and I might be up in here or out in a little bit more of the taller grass, either it'll come up and I won't make it to the green,
Chili dip.
little short stubby, little pitch,
Or you blade it
or I blade it
over the green.
and go long, or I'll get onto the green okay, but I'll be over there or it's over there.
Okay.
I'm not my direction is I'm
That's going to change today. That's what we're going to work on today.
because I will leave a lot of shots out there
Okay.
in a round, probably maybe at 10, 12 strokes out there in the golf course. And that's a lot.
I like to hear that because that means we're going to make a big improvement pretty quickly on your score. All right. Hit one more. Let me see a practice swing before this one. Okay. I'm going to compare your chipping technique to several pros, but I'm going to start with Jim Furyk, who is known to have one of the best short games. All of the pros will demonstrate the same basic fundamentals of good chipping. But before I go over the fundamentals, you first need to understand that fundamentals are a means to an end. Like any shot in golf, the ball only responds to the laws of physics and geometry. You deliver to the ball with the club. When you hit a chip shot well, you would have hit the ball solid. The ball would have come off the face of the club at the trajectory and direction you wanted. The ball would have the amount of spin you anticipated. It would have carried the distance you wanted, and it would have had the amount of ball speed you intended. There are several ways you could set up or move that would produce the above results occasionally, but if you want to hit consistent chip shots, you need to adopt all of the fundamentals. To hit a chip shot solid, you must hit the ball first and then the ground. That means the club must hit the ball on the downswing. That means the low point of your swing arc must be in front of the ball and not behind the ball. Several of the chipping fundamentals are designed to accomplish this. You must have more weight on your front foot than your back foot. The low point of your swing arc tends to be positioned where the center of your weight is. If your ball position is in the center of your stance or towards your back foot, by putting your weight on your left foot or your front foot will automatically shift the low point towards the left foot and in front of the ball. You also want to have your hand slightly in front of the ball to create a little shaft lean, which also helps position the low point of the swing in front of the ball. Now that you have set up to facilitate hitting the ball solid, you also want to be able to do this consistently. To increase your consistency, you want to choke down the club an inch or two. This shortens the club and allows you to stand slightly closer to the ball and give you more control of the club. Also, it positions the shaft more vertical, which allows for the swing to feel more like a good connected putting stroke. Also, it lifts the heel off the turf a little, which helps prevent it from catching the turf before hitting the ball. You'll see pros choke down different amounts. Jim chokes down quite a bit. Choking down is the fundamental, not how much you choke down. Through trial and error, you will find the right amount you should choke down to give you the consistency you want. Now let's look at Jim's swinging technique for this chip shot. I've drawn a blue line right off his left shoulder. Setting up with your weight on your front foot positions the low point of the arc in front of the ball. Well, that doesn't mean much if in the backswing you shift to the back foot. That would cause your low point to shift towards the back foot as well. During the backswing, Jim keeps his weight on his front foot. You can see that his shoulder stays on that blue line. As Jim swings, you will see a very connected one-piece move. His arms and club move together without any hinging. Chip shots are hit with a lot of fundamentals that you would have when you putt. Also notice the handle between the arms in the blue circle at the beginning of the swing and at the end of the swing. No cupping of the left wrist or flipping of the club through the ball. And the final fundamental I want to talk about, I consider one of the most important. You must swing your chest and head towards the target through impact to the finish. I've drawn a triangle with the shoulders and arms and with the hands starting in front of the chest. Notice that the hands stay in front of the chest throughout the swing. The chest is the engine of the chip shot. The hands are just passengers along for the ride. Watch Jim's hat as it immediately turns with the club towards the target and doesn't stay fixed to the ground through impact. With full shots, you want to keep your head down until your right arm is parallel to the ground, but not with your short game shots. You must learn to swing the head with the club. Also notice how long Jim holds the finish. He holds that club in that follow-through position for a long time. There's no recoil of pulling the club back. He chips, he holds his finish, his posture, and his spine angle. Chip and hold. Tiger. Luke Donald. Steve Stricker. Roy McIlroy. If you want to play more like the pros, you have to look more like the pros. Steve, one of the first things I changed was your setup. I did get your feet a little closer together, so they were more like what Jim is. The other thing that we didn't really work on that much, but I'm seeing now that something you need to set up a little bit differently with your left arm. You have a little too much angle in your left arm. I need you to set up more in this triangle position with those arms and not have so much angle in that left elbow. And that'll make it much easier. Also, if you choke down a little bit, that'll take some of the angles out of your wrist, and that'll be very good. And then, of course, one of the things that we worked on was the finish, that you had a tendency to stop the hands and just flip the club through, and you ended up having a lot of severe angles here. We wanted to swing through the ball with the arm just like they started. You can see how Jim's arms are still extended. The shaft of his club is right between his arms. He's swung his chest. Just like with your putting, you finish with your left wrist buckling a little bit, and you've got a lot of angles here. And also, you hold your eyes down too long. You can see how Jim swings through with one piece swing. He swings his chest, his head turns. And those are things that we worked on. You would swing and you would buckle that left arm. Now, the main reason that the left arm buckles is because you don't turn your body through. If you start turning your right side through and you let that right hip, right knee move and keep that chest swinging, then that left arm can stay straight. But as long as that right side hangs back, your left arm will have to bend. What we're doing is we want to have this move as one piece in this here.
Okay.
So we're going to swing the handle. Think about this handle going forward. You can almost do drills where you're swinging. You can almost flip your club around and just swing the handle through. Swing the handle through.
Okay.
Yeah, try that. In fact, if you tried to flip your hands, this would bang into your side. That's a great drill, and you can do that in the living room. Now, before you hit this next, I need to adjust your setup a little bit.
Okay.
So we're going to have our feet much closer together, and we're going to open them slightly. This allows it. What's critical for these shots is you need to have more weight on your left side. And if you move that foot away, it pulls you off of that left foot a little too much. So it's easier to stand on one leg if this foot's close,
I want you to feel like your sternum is on top of your foot, left foot.
Okay.
That's going to create shaft lean so that we can be coming down into the ball. We're not trying to scoop it up. That's what you have a little tendency in your subconscious mind is trying to do.
Right.
So we want to have shaft lean and weight on that left side, and keep it there in your back. And don't rock to your back foot at all. Good, good.
Okay.
So we're just going to work on that. We're going to maybe 1 out of 5 will be really good, and then maybe it'll be 2 out of 5 after some more practice. Stay on that left side. Swing to your pose. So we just have that little flip going.
Yeah.
We're waiting for what I call the happy accident, where you accidentally do it right, and then you can focus on that feeling. Right now, you haven't experienced what that's like. That was much closer, softer through the ball.
I still let it cut.
But better than the one before, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's focus on the good. That was your best one. As far as just soft, your hands, you swung connected. You didn't let this break at your hands. That's very good. Let's keep going while that's still fresh. Very good. Now, if you would, get your pitching wedge. The sand wedge is really not the right club for this shot. There would be a handful of pros that would use the sand wedge, but they would still try to hit it low like a pitching wedge would. But for this little bump and run, I want you to have just a little loft on the club. Again, it's going to be like your putting stroke. So this V right here and Y is going to stay connected all the way through.
Okay.
Okay. Now notice when you move, I want you to notice how your chest, and it should, all the great chippers, they will keep their hands in front of their sternum, in front of their chest, and they will swing their chest to the target. They're not going to keep their chest here, and then that forces a breakdown, a collapse here.
Mm-hmm.
Do a practice swing, and I want you to feel like you're going to swing your chest to the target. And your chest carries your hands. That's it. Go ahead and let that right side turn to the target.
Okay.
Swing
Don't try to make it just all arms here.
Exactly. Absolutely right. Or chip shot. Now, when we get into pitch shots, you'll have a little wrist hinge, but not much. Swing the chest. Okay, good.
Still got a little cup back there.
It's all right. You're not going to master this today, but you're going to know how to practice to develop mastery. Much better. Much better. Now,
That was a fairly good contact.
if you get the low point of your arc in front of the ball, you won't hit back here.
Right.
So if you rock to the back, that means your low point gets back here and the ground is going to get hit.
Okay.
You've got to keep your low point. Controlling the low point is critical in every shot in golf. You want that low point, and your low point is based on where your circle is. You want to get the low point of your golf circle in front of the golf ball and keep it there so that you're hitting the ball first and then the ground. Now, on this next one, I want you to finish with your eyes looking at your result. This is one of the few shots in golf, the short game shots, where the pros will give themselves permission. You know, for a full swing, these pros are going to be like this on this when their right arm gets parallel to the ground. But they're not going to hit these chip shots like this. They're going to let their face and chest move together. They're going to come in here and they're going to swing everything together. They're just going to swing everything together. Your eyes follow your chest. There you go. Now that right shoulder went around much more, which takes pressure from this buckling on you. It's hard to buckle that left hand if you keep that chest swinging.
Yeah.
If you stop the chest, then this has to buckle. Keep the chest moving, there's no reason to do that now. Good. There's two of you. There's the conscious you and the subconscious partner. You are responsible for about 5% of what's going on here. They're responsible for 95%. So you and I are training them how to do this.
Okay.
And they, be patient with them. You have a job to do, but it's not the whole job. And your job is to teach your chest to swing. Now the other things that have to happen, that's their job. And they may mess up, but you have a commitment to this job of yours. Your job right now in training is you're gonna have your feet close together, you have your weight on your left side, and you're gonna feel your chest. You can almost feel your triceps hugging your sides, and don't let them leave. Swing the chest. As long as you do your job, they will learn how to do what they have to do around that. But if you try to do their job, hitting the golf ball is not your job. That's their job.
Okay.
And they may mess up. You'll forgive them. It's all right. But you haven't been giving them the tools to do it well. And now you are. What you have to do will facilitate what they have to do.
Okay.
Good. That was one of your better ones in terms of your finish. Okay, now let's look at this. That's a little more action here instead of having it here. So you had a little extra added on that on the hands. So do it once without a ball. So I want to see the club here and not up here.
Okay.
So swing to here. Let's see if we can do it without the. There we go. Let's see. Do it one more time. We know we can do it without the ball. Swing the chest. Good. As long as it's parallel to this line. Let's go up to the ball. And then we're just trying to match this club right here. That's the only thing in your mind is match this club right there. Pretty good. Pretty good. You into the post. You're going to have to always have a rehearsal because you need a strong sensory memory. Oh, that was really good. Just really swing that chest. Let's try to have our chest much more involved, and it becomes the engine of the swing. These are passengers sitting just in the car for the ride. They're not the engine. The engine's up here.
Okay.
Swing the engine. Swing that chest. Okay, good. Buckle that left wrist. That was really good tempo. Swing the chest. That might have been your best one as far as rhythm and smoothness. We're hitting off of mowed grass right
Right.
here. This is different. Just moving, the yard into here, that may not be the right club now.
But is it the right technique?
It is. It's always going to be the right technique in terms of the pose.
Right.
What may change is the backswing a little bit. Right now, we're not really hinging our wrist very much.
Right.
As you get into deeper grass, you've got to create some more club head speed to get through the grass before you get to the golf ball.
Okay.
And that requires a steeper angle of attack. So if you come in without it in your wrist hinge, you're going to have to go through too much grass before you get there. And so you're going to want to have more. Instead of having this kind of attack angle in the golf ball, you're going to want something more like that, so you trap less grass on the face.
Okay.
So you're going to hinge and hold. What we're doing is no hinge and a hold. What you're going to do is hinge and hold. Now it's not going to be a hinge and a hinge. It'll be a hinge and hold. So the holding position will be similar to what you're doing now, but you might, for different kinds of shots and different distances and different clubs, you might have to have just a little bit of a hit, a little hinge here. Not super much, but a little bit.
Okay.
Let's play this ball maybe more on your back toe instead of the center of your stance. That will force more shaft length. Your chest. Yeah. You're going to find a much cleaner hit. You just want to feel like you're leaning against the wall right here. And stay there. Yeah, that was a very clean hit. Oh, look at that finish. Really good.
It's coming together.
It is.
Pay attention back there.
That's right. Okay, partner. Stay. Oh, that was clean.
Yeah, we'll
That
send
was
him in.
sweet.
Like Compton.
All right. You're trying to actually hit down. You're not, I actually have stated poorly. Your golf circle automatically has a down in it. You don't have to think it. You don't have to make yourself swing down. Right now, it's got to come down. It's on a circle. This is the down part, this is the up part. We're just making sure that we make contact on the circle on the down section of our swing. So we don't have to actually change from, it's just going to naturally fall down until it reaches its very lowest point, and then it's going to naturally go up. You just don't want to have it try to go up before it reaches the bottom. You're going to hit it before it reaches the bottom.
Okay.
So in a sense, you're almost trying to hit that tee. You got the tee. That didn't work out like I thought. Let's just swing our pose. Let's keep it simple.
Okay.
Steve, you made a remarkable improvement in your chipping technique. On the right, you can see how you were buckling that left side. You were very flat-footed. Your body just was kind of frozen, swinging your hands and arms only. Your new setup looks so good. Your feet are close together. Your weight is on your left side. Your swing is much more one piece and connected. You're letting your chest swing. Your head and eyes are swinging with the club. You're holding your pose on the finish. Just a remarkable difference. It's just not the same golfer. Looks really good. You have to really practice it and work on it till you own it. You don't own it yet, but you're very close to owning it. Keep working on that right there. That is great.
Really?
So you're going from point A to point B. I don't want you to think about going from point A to point B.
All right.
You got to think to do one sweeping action.
Are we good to go?
Yeah, you're good to go. I'm trying to get you off before the next down that left side. You're all down his. You got to have to really fight the heel. It's down that left foot.
Green right now, so yeah, so you guys have got plenty of time to go ahead of.
Very good. Look at that finish. You're starting to get your subconscious partner starting to buy into this.
Yeah.
They're not fighting you so much.
This up.
Ooh, I like that one. You had a lot more attack in that one. You went after that a little bit more, but you didn't go after it just with this. You went
Right.
after it with the handle. You swung your hands toward the target.
The chest got moving.
Your chest got moving. That's right, your engine. All right, we're going to add one little element. This may be the real magical piece. Right now, what I'm seeing in terms of the shape of your swing, it's going to about right here. And it's going to about the same place it was with the other club. That's good. I like the finish. But one thing I want to add is I want you to feel like you're going to hinge right in here a little bit. You're almost going to try to get the club even with your hands or maybe slightly above it. So you're going to allow yourself a little firm flexibility right there. So just kind of get behind me and kind of copy what you see me do with my fingers here. So you're going to point. Take it back here and stop. So you're going to feel a little bit of firm flexibility right here. You're almost going to lift the club with this finger just a little bit. So you're going to hinge a little bit here, but you're going to do a practice swing, but you're going to hold that firm finish. You're not going to flip it through. You're going to hinge and hold. They call this a hinge and hold technique. Hinge. So you're almost chopping down. Just a little, feel a little bit of wrist hinge. And then chop to your finish. That's it. So hinge, chop. You're doing a chopping action.
And hold.
And hold. Hinge and hold. Excellent. Excellent technique. Wrists are multi-directional joints. They can move back and forth. They can move up and down. A lot of golfers think they're supposed to move this way, back and forth. That's wrong. It's up and down.
Okay.
So if there was a post right here that you were going to hammer, that's what you want to feel in your wrist. You're not trying to go this way.
Okay.
You're trying to go this way. As if you're hammering something right there. You're just going to do a little mini hammer, a little mini chop. Is that a different feeling in your wrist? A little bit?
Somewhat.
Yeah. So it's an up and down. Oh, very nice. Look at this.
and it landed so softly.
Because you're putting a little spin on it. Now we're getting some repetition though. We're starting to see a consistency in the ball flight. What's frustrating about golf is to be doing something wrong and not have a clue how to fix it. You now have a clue how to fix what your problem was.
Yeah.
Not helping you get through the ball. Look at this. Good. Your goal is to swing to the form. Let's master the form and the performance will follow. Good. Be aware of the form. Swing to a pose. Already know what we're going to do here. All right. I want you to take this back and feel like you're going to point the butt into the handle straight down to the ground. And stop it back there. There you go. That's where I want you. You're going to be right angle here.
Okay.
When you're in a 3 position, this is when the left arm is parallel to the ground. I want to have a right angle here.
Okay.
Even when it was a driver.
Okay.
I need this going on right here. Up. Not this. But up.
Okay.
So do a practice swing and point that butt into that handle and then swing to your most natural. That's it. And then there you go. Finish. Point. That's a golf shot. That feel different?
Yeah.
Point every time. Point. Now the ball's getting the height of a sand wedge. Aim it very well. Oh, I like that one a lot.
That felt a lot better.
Yeah, that was nice.
You get these nice divots. I don't get them. I'm going to have to work on that.
Well, that's because I keep my low point. I wouldn't have them either if I tried to hit it like this.
Uh-huh.
Because I would arrive at the ball and then go up. I wouldn't be going down.
Okay.
I arrive at the ball and I've still got 2 or 3 inches of downward arc remaining in my swing. And that's what carves out the ground.
Okay, Steve, now we're going to look at your full swing with the sand wedge. It's almost a full swing, maybe 3/4. I'm going to compare you to Rory McIlroy. He's going to be hitting just a little 3/4 sand wedge as well. As you go back, take you to the 3 position, or almost to the 3. This is as far back as you took it. You didn't take your club back any further than that, even though you were kind of trying to come closer to a full swing. And your left arm is parallel to the ground. And he's parallel to the ground with his left arm. Feet is close together, just hitting a little baby shot. But the big difference is in the wrist hinge. You can see how much more wrist cock that he has there. And so he's really loaded up his hand, so he has something to deliver. So one of the things that we wanted to work on is increasing that wrist angle and hinge those wrists. You were just not taking full advantage of all the power that you could accumulate if you would load your hands more. Now this is one of the first swings that you made after we worked on hinging the wrist. That's a really, really good position. You're nice and solid there. Got a strong angle here. Very, very good.